demo on culture, role of culture in international management. First, we will know that what culture is. Culture is a complex description of our value and norms, ethics, and how we are dealing with it. Why do you need to know about culture? Why do we need to know about culture? Because you will be managers and you have to deal with lots of different types of people. You have to work with different types of brands, and you do not know which brands will be accepted in which countries and how you are going to communicate with those brands to make them successful in business world. So the elements of culture are these 8 types. It can be less, it can be more depending on the books we are following. The first one is aesthetic, which is our definition of beauty. Aesthetic is a definition of beauty. How would you define that? Aesthetic, how would you define that? If you get a good product and if you see a good advertisement for that product, your acceptability of making a positive buying or purchasing decision. Do you understand? You are a new person today. We are saying that aesthetic is your sense of beauty. So if you think that this thing is a nice product, you will buy that. But what if your friend doesn't like that product? So your aesthetic definition and his aesthetic definition is completely different. So if I am the marketer and if I am targeting 2 of you to buy my product, what type of changes would I make to sell those products profitably will depend on my acceptability of understanding and respecting your aesthetic. Next comes with education. With education, you can understand how you can skillfully communicate with your potential customers or even your employees. If I am educated enough, I would get the joke. Have you heard this term, try to get the joke? Anybody heard this term? Somebody says something and you became very serious. How could you say that to me? But then he is saying, try to get the joke. That means he didn't really mean it. If somebody says, go kick something, we cannot say it like that. But it actually doesn't mean you literally would kick somebody. They mean that you try to get the joke. Go break a leg. What does that mean? Break a leg. Break a leg. Is somebody asking you to break somebody's legs? They are asking you to go quickly. So these things we would only know when we have a sense of better education. When we are grown up in a better environment, when we can understand the type of advertisements, when we can understand instructions. How many times do we have to translate our lectures in our language, in our classes? How many times do you prefer teachers to translate lectures into Bangla language? Often, less, more, not at all, less. Why not at all? Because we are not native. We have to sometimes clarify the lectures in our own language. Why? Because of our acceptability of education and language. Politics and economy. Politics and economy. Our country's political system, our country's government's way of correcting, manipulating and governing that country's employees and citizens are very important on how the citizen behave. Election, corruption, bureaucracy, poverty, everything has an impact on our lifestyle. Inflation, what do? Inflation, how does a country's inflation affect your purchase decision? Very simple. Like today, how did you come? You had CNG, 4-stroke engine vehicles. You had bus as a transportation. Some of you might have come with a bicycle. Some of you have walked. Some of you have taken public transportation. Why did you have the decision of choosing that particular vehicle, transportation system? Purchasing power. CNG, 200 taka. Why? You could have a nice lunch after this. You can have a nice snack after this. Why would we spend that much money? Because today is a weekend, so we can actually get that public transport and have a much cheaper choice of transit. Same thing would happen in your political and economic system. political upbringing actually develops our economic decision. Some of us, we don't even ask, how many of us bargain with shopkeepers? We bargain. On what scale? What is your strength of bargain? How much do you actually bargain?
10% on our budget.
10%. So if I'm asking you, on what product? Groceries. Can you do it on Agora? Can you do it on?
I don't go to Agora.
No, exactly. So for kitchen products, Miss goes to, she can choose for bargaining. When do you bargain for high involvement products? High involvement means the product that needs you to think about it before you purchase, because it has enough monetary value of it. You cannot just go and buy a AC. Okay? Depends on our economic ability. So our economic ability comes from all other previous factors: economic, quality, education. This again goes null void if our religious factors do not handle us properly. You know, you can get all the education that you want, but your religion says that you cannot believe in evolution. Correct or incorrect? You can have all the education, you can become an astronaut, you can become an aeronautical engineer, but you cannot believe in evolution. What type of mental capacity you can have? How can you accommodate religion into your lifestyle? You are a marketer, you came today, you have no idea how am I, how you are going to impress me through education? Or can you impress me through education? The religion asks you to value education, but having fear of God. You have to know that there has to be a God who foresees everything, and you cannot just make. So business decision, Ramadan is coming in 15 days. What you will see in market? High price. How that is a reflective of religion? How high price or price hike can be a reflective judgment from the marketers through religion? They are actually taking advantage of the fact that religious people will have to consume certain types of products irrespective of the price tag. Doesn't matter if it goes high or low, you have to buy that because it's a special time of the month. You will buy that. So religion is a very important factor. You can ignore all of it, but just through religion, you can evaluate the brand value to a very high extreme. Language. You see somebody and you try to show some body language. You try to express in a certain way that kills the deal. Do you not understand the meaning kills the deal, killing the deal? Some people are just born natural speaker that you have to speak to them, you have to listen to them. They have the negotiation power that you will listen to them. How did they get that? Education, family. Sometimes education, most of the time, family. You have to have this environmental facility that you can speak. Language. Which words make sense? Which words make sense? What makes you buy some product from advertisement? I'm asking you.
Halal.
Halal. You hear the word halal, you have to buy the product, or you are more convinced. You get out of your country, what do you look for? Arabic rich scriptures. Why? Because you have a feeling it's safe to go and eat there. Okay? So you can understand, again, religion comes in our perspectives. So, society and family. How? Society and family, how this can be an element of culture. The society we live in shapes the way we behave. From our childhood, how do you know that we have to show respect to an elderly? Because we have seen our family do it. How do you know that you're trying to stand up when you're telling me something? How do you know that? That has happened throughout our life from our schools. Family. What does our family teach us? The definition of culture, we get that from our family. Norms, value, ethics. How do you know? If I would be born in a corrupted family, corruption would be my value. Would you believe if I'm saying that? Corruption is my value. We would have in a dinner table and I would ask my father, so what did you steal today? How was it? Because that's very normal. That has happened. Okay? So it depends how we have been brought up. The way we have been brought up, it depends on education of our forefathers. And that carries on throughout the generation. Materials. Have you heard of the term kleptomania?
Yes, stealing.
Stealing on impulse, not stealing. Stealing is just a profession. Kleptomania is a disease. You are walking and I have to have that. But I can afford that. But I do not have to buy it. I do not want to buy it. I want to steal it. And the process of stealing is not controllable. I cannot control it. But do not write it as a definition of materials. Materials is you see something, you see a fan, you see a light, and what is your expression on it? Oh, it's a sundar ekta jinish. Oh, such a nice thing. Okay. Somebody says, oh yeah, fine, so what? But somebody says, okay, I will take a picture. No, we take pictures in front of flyovers.
Yeah.
That is our orientation of materials. Oh, there's a plane. Okay, so it is our way of dealing with materials. How do you deal with materials? So the culture